wherever you go. It's SK Modifieds, and what an incredible field of cars. We come down to this. It is the crowning of a champion, but it won't be easy. As they head off turn number 4, here's Kyle Rickey with the call.
Here they come off of turn 4, final feature event of the night, final feature of the season. Green flag is up, and it's going to be Tyler Chapman to get to jump as they go to turn 1 for the first time.
Tyler Chapman goes way wide in turn 1, but he gets on the gas coming off of 2 to take the lead. Moeller rolls the top, gets by David Arute for second. Now Jarvis goes to the outside for third.
There's no question about it. The outside lane is where you want to be in the start. Quickly in a side-by-side battle with David Arute, Michael Jarvis moves in, takes over the third spot.
Mike Christopher Jr. made a 3-wide pass coming off of 4 in the first lap to gain a couple spots. Tyler Chapman leads, Andrew Moeller in second, Jarvis in third. Now here comes JP, Jon Puleo to the outside of David Arute.
Marching toward the front of the field to the outside of David Arute for the 4th spot, and now Talman thinking about making it 3 wide. Jammed up from third on back as Chapman and Moeller get away.
Jarvis runs in third, and they're 2 by 2 behind him. Puleo rolling the top on the 75 coming off of 2. He's clear, now slices to the inside of Jarvis to go for third while they're 3 wide behind him.
Unbelievable 3 wide action behind him, but Puleo makes the crossover work. He moves in, he'll take over the 3rd position. Behind Puleo, it is a gaggle of cars, and we've got trouble.
Troy Talman got into Michael Jarvis Jr., and they're piling up behind him. Looks like most people get through. Todd Owens in the wall along with fellow chassis pro mate Anthony Flannery.
Puleo was ahead of it. Flynn was close to it over in turn number 2, but it looks like he was able to escape in that 24 car as he makes his way back to the start-finish line. Owen not as fortunate, along with Flannery up in turn 1 as we go caution for the first time in this feature event.
Flynn's got a little bit of nose damage, guys. On the bottom of the nose, there's a little bit of crinkled up sheet metal, but it should be cosmetic.
And we can see that Todd Owens' race car is wedged to the outside safer barrier. You're looking at the front nose piece of the Mikey Flynn number 24 car as it's literally pinched off there. And down the pit road, here comes Troy Talman, guys, car number 3, who made a bold move, almost 3 wide, coming off turn number 4.
Going to look at a replay, see what happened here on lap number 3 as the trend of early caution flags continue here tonight. And the championship leaders close to it, including Mikey Flynn, as they go back to the corner. Talman coming together with the 33. Puleo was just ahead of it, and Flynn made contact with the 3, turning the 3. So some fairly significant contact there between Flynn and Talman over in turn number 2. And Jonathan Puleo was just ahead of that in the 3rd spot over when it broke out over at that end of the racetrack. So a couple of close calls there. Looks like Flynn is okay, though, but it was the 24 that got into the 3 after the initial contact kind of jammed everybody up from 4th on back.
You know, here's a kind of an interesting thing. If you look at that front end of the 24 car, if that is closed up, that means the car could run hot and there's no air coming in. Back down at pit road.
Heavy rear damage on the right-hand side of car number 3 of Troy Talman there. Looking now at the front of that car after the little bit of contact, but mostly just sheet metal here. That is the left rear, actually, on the Casella number 3 car.
And they also checked in with the Michael Jarvis team. They think they might have a bent rim on that car. That's probably the only thing he was involved a little bit in that contact.
So meanwhile, it appears that the Todd Owen car did not have a great season, that team at all. It's on the back of the hook. Meanwhile, we're looking at the Troy Talman machine. They're making a wedge adjustment. Looks like, no, shock tower. They're working on the shock on the right front of that car as well. So maybe the shock tower is damaged there. Meanwhile, the field's being told to cross over. No wait, no holding here. We're going back to green.
Next time by, field crossing over into their rows of 2. We'll go green next time around. Monaco Ford safety team heading to the infield. Anthony Flannery still on pit road along with Troy Talman in the 3. Everybody else still on the racetrack except for Todd Owen, who has been hooked and will be placed behind the wall.
So Flannery looks like he's coming back out. Talman's car still being worked on. Here they come. Lights off on the safety vehicle. We're about ready to go back to green.
Off of turn 4 they come. Tyler Chapman to the inside of the front row. Green is up. He gets the jump by a full car length over Andrew Moeller. Here comes Jonathan Puleo to challenge for second.
JP trying to get to the inside of Moeller, but Andrew does a good job rolling the high side, coming off of 2. Almost pulls even with Tyler Chapman for the lead going into 3. They're still going at it bar to bar.
They are side by side as they come off the turn, but a leader still remains Chapman. Meanwhile, Marcello Rufano and now Dylan Izzo moves into the top 5.
Izzo to the inside of David Arute for that 5th spot coming off of 2. And we got a challenge for the lead here. Here comes Andrew Moeller to the inside of Tyler Chapman for the top spot.
Dives to the inside of Chapman. Chapman slides wide just a bit. Moeller to the inside. Both push up the speedway. That allows Chapman to hang on to the race lead. Moeller gets a shove from his best friend and championship contender, Jonathan Puleo.
But Moeller cannot step on it coming off of 2. Gets bogged down a bit on the inside line. Tyler Chapman propels ahead. JP on the back bumper of Moeller for second.
They come off turn number 4, single file. Chapman's got a loose race car. He gathers it back. Moeller is running at his tire tracks. Same thing for JP, Jonathan Puleo.
Mikey Flynn is stuck at the back of the top 10. That car is unstable. He got really loose off of 4, and he's going to get passed by Christopher on the outside.
Right now, he is going the wrong way as Jonathan Puleo going in the direction that he needs to go, and that is toward the front. Jonathan Puleo doing exactly what he needs to do, running 3rd right now as the 24 backslides.
And he's watching the top 2 go at it. JP, that is Puleo on the back bumper of Moeller, who got into the back of Tyler Chapman last time by. Now Puleo scoots to the bottom inside of Moeller for second.
No question about it. Puleo makes the move. He completes the mission. With him comes Marcello Rufano. Rufano works his magic to the inside. Rufano's up to the 3rd spot. That bumps Moeller back to position number 4.
Moeller has a gap behind Rufano to get in line, and he does so. Izzo in 5th, Arute in 6th, and then Di Matteo sails it inside the 16 for 7.
Kopech will slide in the line in 8th. Top 8 right together here on the front straightaway as they go back to turn number 2. Tyler Chapman, the race leader. Bid for second is on.
Rufano got a good run in the center of the corner. Pelts at the back end of Puleo's car coming off of turn 2. Single file now. Rufano dives it in late inside the 7.
Marcello Rufano sunk it in at a ton. Puleo is running hard in the outside lane. Puleo's got points on his mind. Marcello Rufano has got a victory. He'll move in, take over second. Meanwhile, 6 cars contending for position number 2.
4 spots is all Jonathan Puleo needs, and he has it, and then some right now. Running in the 3rd position, car number 7, as Mikey Flynn currently in the 10th position. He needs to gain a few, and in fact, Bonza, he's not even close to the lead group.
He's holding up the line behind him. Here comes Keith Rocco now to the inside of Flynn, coming off a turn 2 at the back of the top 10. Up front, Di Matteo just got by David Arute. Now here comes Kopech, banging bars with the 75.
Kopech runs to the inside of David Arute. Meanwhile, Michael Christopher trying to make a shot and a move that just doesn't exist. The track is blocked just in front of him.
David Arute gets passed by Kopech. That opens the door for Christopher to slide to the inside the 75. He dives it into 3. He's got the spot. Now Di Matteo dives under Izzo for 5th.
Izzo slides wide off of turn number 4 and will have to give up that spot to Corey Di Matteo, who goes to the inside and will take over 5th, battling from 6th on back.
Di Matteo is on the move. Is tightening up for 3rd, but Moeller lost some ground coming off of turn 2. As you mentioned, behind the top 5, it's Izzo. Now Christopher to the inside of Kopech.
Christopher does a nice move, moves in, takes over the 7th spot. Michael Christopher is coming. He's now right there in contention to get towards the front of the pack. Meanwhile, battle becomes a battle for 3rd. Andrew Moeller all over his buddy, Jonathan Puleo.
Flynn is falling out of the top 10. He is currently in 12th. Alex Pearl also making the pass a lap ago. We talked about Keith Rocco getting by. Flynn struggling right now in car 24 as the leaders exit 2.
Tyler Chapman leads the way, but that gap is shrinking. Marcello Rufano is now car length behind the 41. 5 more lengths back to JP.
Here they come off turn number 4. It's still Tyler Chapman, the leader of the pack. Marcello Rufano moving in, 0.152. Separates 1st from 2nd off turn 2.
Rufano's got a head of steam coming off of turn 2. Pulls right up to the back bumper of Chapman. Takes a look to the inside. Tyler Chapman gives him room. Here comes Rufano for the lead.
That's the battle for the lead. Flynn has lost 3 more positions at the tail end of the field in car 24. Showing a little bit of smoke here up the front straightaway for Mikey Flynn. Championship hopes may be up in smoke in turn 2.
Flynn might be losing a motor. There's smoke coming out of what looks like the tailpipes. He pulls to the inside. Mikey Flynn is going to pit road. He might be out of it.
Heartbreaking situation for Flynn after having such an amazing season. Back up front, bid for the lead. Marcello Rufano still in command, 2 laps shy of the halfway marker.
And Jonathan Puleo in good position, but needs to finish this event and need to finish at least 4 spots in front of Flynn. In good spot right now, running in third and fending off Andrew Moeller, last year's champion.
But Corey DiMatteo is behind Moeller, and he's not wasting any time. He's been making bold bottom shot after bold bottom shot work. Here he goes again now to the inside of Moeller for 4th.
Corey DiMatteo's got a race car that's racy on the bottom. Eddie Flemke set that one up to get to the front of the field. The Hummel's hot dog machine is up to the 4th spot. That bumps Moeller back to 5. It is DiMatteo who's coming to the front of the class.
Running in the 4th spot right now. Let's see if he can close in on Jonathan Puleo for that 3rd spot. Top 2 still by themselves at the front of the field. Marcello Rufano in the 88. Tyler Chapman in the 41. Bit of a gap back to Puleo, running unchallenged in 3rd.
Corey DiMatteo is a car length, now 2 car lengths behind Puleo, followed by Moeller and Mike Christopher Jr., who has methodically made his way near the top 5. He runs in 6th.
All of a sudden, Tyler Chapman is getting closer to the back bumper of Marcello Rufano. How close? Not close enough yet, but he is definitely coming.
That gap is less than a car length as they come off of turn 2. Chapman's able to gain center of the corner. Rufano pulls him a bit coming off. Christopher now makes his move down the hill inside of Moeller to move into the top 5.
Another bottom shot move for car 82, Michael Christopher Jr. Again, he's not out of this yet. If Puleo were to have an issue, running for the 5th spot right now is Christopher and Moeller.
Moeller tried the crossover coming off before, but he gives Christopher respect, backs off, and lets the 82 solidify that 5th spot as DiMatteo pulls up to the back bumper of Puleo.
It's a good battle right there as they come back off the turn. No question about it. It is DiMatteo all over the back bumper of Puleo. Back up front, bid for the lead. Chapman tried it, can't do it this time.
He took a look to the inside of Rufano, but couldn't get the steam coming off the corner. Now here's DiMatteo to the inside of Puleo. Got a great run off of 2, makes the move at 3, clears him off of 4.
DiMatteo to the inside, takes the 3rd spot away. Jonathan Puleo will fall back into the 4th spot, just a car length behind, and then Mike Christopher Jr. closing in quickly from 5th.
Christopher is about 3 car lengths behind the 7 of Jon Puleo, who's in a good spot right now in the 4th position as Rufano leads by a car length.
Here they come back off turn number 4. Everybody is kind of fallen into line, but somebody soon will try to pull in to contend or pull out to contend as they come back off turn 4. Now Keith Rocco is applying some pressure, and that, of course, is to Dylan Izzo in the mid-pack of cars.
It's like we have a car stopped to the way inside of the back straightaway underneath the big screen. We'll keep it under the green flag for now, see if that car can fire back up. It looks like the Portante car, potentially the 57, that has come to a stop, and the caution flag comes out with 13 laps to go. A lot happening over that green flag run as Portante stops on the backstretch. Let's check in the infield and see what has happened to our championship point leader, Mikey Flynn, just a few laps ago, pulling that car to the infield, and a plume of smoke when that car came to a stop, guys.
Well, Kyle, what happened, that earlier incident, Mikey Flynn was actually caught up into it. It caused some damage to the front of the car, to the radiator, which then trickled back to the motor. That's what knocked Mikey out, and he is on the infield, unfortunately, very dejected over what happened in this race.
Tough break for him. He had such a fantastic season going and did a great job, and he's nothing to but success and a bright future ahead of him. This young, talented man, just the highs and lows of motorsports easily can be said. Field is being told stay single file. Timing and scoring is looking over the field. Guys, there's no question about it. Marcello Rufano did an aggressive job to take over the lead. Tyler Chapman, of course, is going to be on the outside of the front row. Bonza, you have the best seat in the house to watch them come off turn number 4. Outside seemed to be the advantage in the opening laps of this event.
Yeah, it didn't matter who was on the top side on these restarts, whether it was Moeller, whether it was Tyler Chapman, they were able to get on the gas and their car's stuck coming off the corner. But you can only do that for so many laps before you burn off your tires. So if you're Tyler Chapman, you know Rufano's going to pick the bottom. This is your one opportunity to get past the 88 before he has position on the bottom for the next few laps.
Mike Helberg tells the field to cross over, and they do. That puts Tyler Chapman to the outside, Puleo to the outside of Corey DiMatteo. The way that Corey DiMatteo has been running, He's going to be a factor in this when we go back to green. Kyle, they head down the back straightaway. No odds-on favorite in this one. It is for every individual for themselves, and only the best will get to the end of this one and the crowning of a champion.
Keeping an eye on Marcello Ruffano and Tyler Chapman at the front, but Mike Christopher Jr. was closing in on all of them prior to the yellow. That 82 car will restart third on the bottom in position number 5. Here they come off of turn 4. Green flag is back out. 13 laps to settle it here in 2025 for the SK Modifieds. It's Marcello Ruffano and Tyler Chapman at the point.
And here's Tyler Chapman rolling the top, trying to pull alongside Ruffano, but he doesn't have enough. Plus, Ruffano's getting quite the push from Corey DiMatteo. Chapman drives it in hard, trying to keep up with Ruffano.
While all that's been happening, Michael Christopher moves into the 4th spot. He's not done yet. He moves to the back bumper of Corey DiMatteo. Michael Christopher Jr. is flying to the front of this field.
But he's got to wait till DiMatteo can complete the pass on Tyler Chapman for the 2nd spot, and he does so. Christopher's going to try and follow through, but again, Tyler drives it hard in the 3, washes up the track.
Chapman washes up. Christopher to the bottom, just behind DiMatteo in 2nd, and well behind Marcello Ruffano, who pulls out to a 2-car length lead.
Over DiMatteo in the 2nd spot, who was finally clear of Chapman. Now Christopher makes his move down the hill, going into 3, trying to scoot on by the 41 and move on to the podium.
There is 10 circuits to go to wind it down. 5 miles left in the competition. Michael Christopher now moves in, takes over the 3rd position. Christopher is coming to the front of the class.
Jon Puleo is watching those two go at it for the 3rd spot, running in 5th himself. Tyler Chapman drives it hard in the 3, but Christopher rolls to center and hooks out ekes out ahead.
He does indeed. Bottom of the racetrack, move Christopher to 3rd in car number 82. Chapman led earlier, back to the 4th spot, just in front of now championship leader Jon Puleo, as we have trouble further back. Pearl out of shape, tries to correct the car. Looks like it'll come to a stop on the apron of the racetrack. Caution comes out from the starter stand with 9 laps to go.
And the caution is for the Pearl car that came to a rest on the bottom of the racetrack, just to the left of the Napa Auto Care billboard. That's the USNE Power sponsored car. Feature event winner this season's had some great runs. He is able to get it fired back up at the rear of the field. Well, things are still definitely heated, and this is a long way from over with yet. 9 circuits left in the competition here, and as we have seen so far, anything can happen. And it appears that we are going to have a completely different front row on this restart. But just as impressive as the front row is, Michael Christopher, Tyler Chapman's going to make up the 2nd row. Jon Puleo and Andrew Moeller, row number 3. Dylan Izzo and Keith Rocco, row 4. Dylan Kopech and Ethan DeRocher, row number 5.
Flynn is scored in the 20th position out of this event. That car has been on pit road for quite some time.
Yes.
That would give him 658 points. Puleo would have to fall back to 16th to earn 658 points. And obviously that would determine the championship with Flynn on wins with 2. So Puleo still has a nice cushion running in the top 5, as he has for much of this event, and 5th. But for those watching the numbers, and then Mike Christopher Jr. not too far out of the mix as well. So if something were to happen to the 7.
So here we go.
9 to settle it. We'll take this one a lap at a time.
And here they come off turn 4. Snap of the wrist. Go, go, go. And this time, Corey DiMatteo has a slight advantage down in 2. But Marcello Ruffano is fighting back.
Ruffano on the inside, DiMatteo up top, gets a good run, and they race even going into turn number 3 for the top spot. Ruffano drives it in hard, keeps it on the bottom, he keeps the lead.
There comes Mike Christopher Jr. now, peeking to the inside of Corey DiMatteo for the 2nd spot. DiMatteo cuts right back to the inside, may have made contact with Marcello Ruffano, who is off the pace in turn 1.
DiMatteo did get into Ruffano. He tried to go to the inside, but caught the back of the 88 car, putting him in the wall. Ruffano stopped in turn 1 as the caution comes out.
Heartbreaker again. Another tough night for Marcello Ruffano. He was leading the event, and all of a sudden, we'll take a look at the replay on that one to try to figure out exactly what happened. Window net is down on the 88 car, so we're not sure if when that contact was made that something went awry in the ignition as the car seemed to just pull to the top side and almost stop on the racetrack. And let's take a look at this in the replay. Marcello Ruffano getting out of the car. Up front, there's your leader. Coming off turn number 4, down the front straightaway, goes to the outside. They touch right front side and right rear, makes contact with the wall. When it does, suspension goes down, and the right side of the car is all but gone as the front right drops down, and there is Marcello Ruffano. And he is upset.
Well, the 11 made that pull to the inside of the racetrack, tried for the crossover. Unfortunately, he wasn't totally clear. He had a little bit more oomph here off of turn 4, closed in on the 88, made contact before he could get fully clear of him to the inside as we take a look at it.
And watch it very closely here. There it is. There was what appeared to be some contact. Once Marcello got those right side tires up on the wall, it was all she wrote, and that was the end of it, very sadly. Another look at it here. And the 11 car has received the consultation flag. Car number 11 will drop to the rear of the field with 8 circuits remaining in this event.
So the drivers 5th and 6th in points having issues here. Marcello Ruffano just hanging on to the top 5, but Troy Talman has had some issues in this feature as well. So it's going to be hard for Troy to gain ground out of the race, finishing in the 21st position. So it looks like the folks that came into the top 5 will stay there, as Michael Jarvis a bit deeper in the rundown, as the field will get the 1 to go. This time by, Di Matteo will take his spot at the tail end of the field after the contact with Ruffano here on the front straightaway. Doubling up into their rows of 2, move Michael Christopher Jr. to the outside. And again, we talk about the drivers that are doing the chasing in points, needing to come to the front, and Christopher doing just that, 3rd in the standings.
And here we go, try it all over again. If you think it's over with, you are wrong. 32 of 40. Again, Michael Christopher, been so dominant in the last few weeks. Going for it again on the inside of Chapman. Here they come. Green flag is out. Christopher with the advantage.
They go to turn 2.
Christopher on the inside of Tyler Chapman, who has a good run coming off the corner, pulls even with the 82. 2 by 2 from the front to the back, still going at it side by side for the lead.
With Christopher leading, Puleo has to stay among the top 8 in car number 7. He is 4th right now, 2nd car in lane, top side.
They race 2 by 2, 6 cars all together lined up in rows of 2. Christopher is in the lead. Tyler Chapman makes his way to the bottom, gets shot from behind by Moeller, while Puleo's on the outside.
Puleo tries to make the outside move around Chapman. It doesn't work. He's there with Moeller. Moeller is just in front of Keith Rocco down at turn 1.
Moeller on the inside of JP with Keith Rocco pushing that 85 behind him coming off at turn 2. Tyler Chapman has a good run coming down the backstretch, but Christopher blocks the bottom lane, then gets hit by Tyler Chapman.
Puleo now in the outside lane going backwards, has Rocco to his inside. Again, top 8 is where he'll need to be if Mike Christopher Jr. goes on to win this race in the 82 car.
Trouble now. Oh, already off turn number 2. 3 wide down the back straightaway.
Into the corner, 3rd on back, jams up. Tyler Chapman in the 41, Rocco the 16. Kopech now to the inside of Jonathan Puleo. So the 7 going the wrong way with just 4 laps to go.
JP's got to find a way to the bottom quick. He might have a hole here behind Kopech in front of the 179 of Ethan DeRocher. Puleo does find his way to the bottom. He's back in the 6th spot.
Meanwhile, Kopech moves up, takes over the 4th position. Inside lane starts to go. Chapman comes together with the the 16 machine in turn 2.
Kopech to the inside, slides way up the track on Tyler Chapman coming off the corner, and they're even down the back straightaway. JP looking for a place to go, sticking with the 16 of Kopech.
While Christopher finds pressure from Moeller to his back bumper for the race lead. 2 laps to go, 3 cars battling for the win. Puleo just trying to hang on to the title.
Moeller has stayed with Christopher, but he slides up coming off of turn 2, and here comes Keith Rocco. Where did Kid Rock come from? He's now in the 2nd spot.
White flag is out, 1 lap to go. Michael Christopher hunted down by Keith Rocco. Moeller is right there. Meanwhile, side by side, Chapman and Puleo battling for the 5th spot.
Keith Rocco's right on the back bumper of Christopher, who stays low to protect. Rocco goes to the top, side by side for the lead with 2 turns to go.
Rocco commits to the outside, sends it in deep. Christopher slides up a bit. Off of turn number 4 they come. Michael Christopher Jr. picks up the win here tonight. Jonathan Puleo crosses in 5th, and that's good enough to pick up the track championship here for the SK Modifieds.
Keith Rocco will finish in 2nd. Andrew Moeller to finish a convincing 3rd. Dylan Kopech, best run of 2025 in 4th. Jonathan Puleo, as you said, becomes the champion in the Vinny Beetle-owned car to finish among the top 5.